In the year 79 AD, life in the Roman city of Pompeii was normal. Streets buzzed with traders, children played in courtyards, and the scent of baked bread drifted from ovens. The people of Pompeii had no idea that the mountain watching over them, Mount Vesuvius, was not just a mountain. It was a volcano, silent for centuries, waiting to awaken. Pompeii was a thriving city, home to about 12,000 people. It was rich, beautiful, and modern for its time. Paved roads, fountains, frescoes on the walls. Pompeii was a jewel of the Roman Empire. Citizens attended plays, bathed in grand bathhouses, and spent evenings at taverns. The city sat at the foot of Vesuvius, and its fertile soil made the region a paradise for vineyards and olive groves. But beneath that soil was a force powerful enough to erase it all in a single day. In August of that year, strange things began happening. Wells dried up, animals became restless, and a series of small earthquakes shook the city, so minor that people barely paid attention. They were used to tremors. Pompeii had seen them before. Then, at around midday on August 24th, the mountain exploded. A deafening roar echoed across the bay. A massive column of ash, gas, and rock shot miles into the sky, so high that Pliny the Younger, a Roman historian watching from across the bay, said it looked like a giant pine tree reaching toward the heavens. For hours, ash rained down on Pompeii like snow. Roofs began to collapse. Streets disappeared under layers of falling debris. People tried to flee, clutching their families, covering their faces with cloth to breathe. By nightfall, darkness swallowed the city. It was not just dark, it was absolute. The kind of darkness where you couldn't see your own hands. The air was thick with heat and ash. The sound of collapsing buildings mixed with screams. Then the second phase began. Early the next morning, the column of ash that had risen into the sky collapsed under its own weight. It sent a pyroclastic surge, an avalanche of superheated gas and rock, racing down the mountain at over 100 miles per hour. The cloud hit Pompeii in seconds. Temperatures reached over 500 degrees Celsius. People died instantly, their bodies frozen in place, preserving their final moments in haunting detail. Some were shielding loved ones. Others were still running. By the time the eruption ended, Pompeii was gone, buried under more than 20 feet of volcanic ash. Nearby cities like Herculaneum and Stabia met the same fate. For centuries, no one even knew exactly where Pompeii had been. It simply disappeared from maps and memory. Life continued. Empires rose and fell, but Pompeii remained, perfectly sealed under the ash, an ancient world frozen in time. Then, in 1599, workers digging a canal stumbled upon ancient frescoes buried deep underground. They were shocked, but quickly sealed the discovery again, fearing the artwork was indecent. It would be another 150 years before someone returned to dig deeper. In 1748, excavations began in earnest. What they uncovered was unlike anything seen before. Streets, temples, markets, homes, all preserved as if the eruption had happened yesterday. Mosaics still glittered in the light. Wall paintings showed gods, animals, and ordinary people. Even bread loaves, carbonized but intact, sat on the tables where they had been left. But it was the bodies that stunned the world. Hollow spaces in the hardened ash revealed where people had fallen and decomposed. Archaeologists filled the voids with plaster, creating casts of the victims in their final moments, faces twisted in pain, arms wrapped around loved ones. They were no longer just ruins, they were human stories. Pompeii gave historians an unparalleled glimpse into Roman life. From graffiti on the walls to the food found in kitchens, everything was preserved. Inscriptions revealed jokes, arguments, even love notes. One wall reads, "We two dear men, friends forever, were here. If you want to know our names." They are Gaius and Aulus. Another simply says, Gaius was here, written 2,000 years before anyone thought of graffiti as art. As excavations expanded, Pompeii became a time capsule of daily life. Ordinary people frozen in an extraordinary tragedy. Historians learned how Romans cooked, how they decorated their homes, and even what they ate. Dogs were found still chained in courtyards. In one room, a soldier was discovered clutching a sword, likely trying to protect his family. But with each discovery came new challenges. The site began to deteriorate once it was exposed to air and rain. Frescoes faded, walls crumbled, and looters stole artifacts. Even today, Pompeii is a race against time, preserving what the volcano ironically protected for 2,000 years. Modern technology has revealed even more. Scans of the plaster casts have shown jewelry, tools, and coins still on the victims' bodies. Scientists have even reconstructed their faces, giving life again to people who lived and died almost 20 centuries ago. DNA testing revealed relationships between some of the victims, confirming families who died together trying to escape. Mount Vesuvius still stands today, silent but not dead. It remains one of the most dangerous volcanoes in the world, with millions living in its shadow. The same mountain that destroyed Pompeii still has the power to erupt again. Pompeii's story is not just one of tragedy. It's one of time, memory, and the fragility of human life. One day, everything can change. A single moment can erase centuries of progress. But what was buried also became immortal. The city that perished in fire and ash became eternal in history. As we walk through Pompeii today, along the same stone streets once filled with laughter and life, we aren't just visiting ruins. We are walking through a moment in time, an entire world, captured at the exact second it ended. Pompeii teaches us something profound. Nothing lasts forever, but even in destruction, memory endures. What was once lost for 2,000 years now tells the story of how fragile, and yet how lasting, humanity truly is.